So I am here now at Fountains Abbey, and this is going to be a very interesting video. I'm looking forward to what I can find here today. Wow, nobody inside here, just me. Fountains Hall. That is Medusa. It looks like, or is it like just normal flames? It looks like a Medusa's head. Fireplace. Fountains Hall, the Great Chamber. The room above the stone hall has been known as the chapel, the justice room, or the Great Chamber. Period of messenger ownership about 140 years from 1627. The room probably functioned as a Catholic chapel. It's warm in here. Don't really like it in here. I'm loving all of these yew trees at either side of the grounds here. Now the yew trees are the trees of sacred sites, and a congregation of yew trees is a very special energy. And the purpose of this video is once again to show that these places, these abbeys, were surrounded by water, and they were built because of the living waters. And so the living waters were flowing into the structures, into the actual centre of all of these abbeys. So this is the river behind me, and this is flowing into the abbey that you are seeing me walk slowly into. And as we can see here, the river comes past this bridge. Lovely sun rays reflect on the water today, and then goes into the abbey itself. It flows through it. This living water is then flowing through the centre. So we see the dipper there on that rock. Incredible. Wow, what a place this is. This is impressive. Absolutely massive. There's ruins everywhere. Huge grounds, huge rock faces as well behind me. I'll show you after. Just incredible place. And the daffodils and the water and the sun. Just perfect day to come to Fountains Abbey. And I've never been here before. Wow. You see the rock faces all there. And it's quite intact. I'm sure they do a lot of looking after in the structure, you know, considering we're paying £31 to get in each. Well, this is one of the entrance ways, and I believe that originally there would have been water in here. Wow, this is incredible. This is magical. echoes as well, the sound, the vibration. Look at the way everything just lines up. Everything's just perfect. Nothing's off, nothing's deviated. Everything's done to perfect geometry. The columns here as well. Them rocks are so incredible. All of these tunnels were where water flowed. This would have looked different, all of this area. There was a photo actually of this area flooded on a picture at the start on the narrative, and for me it felt right. It felt like this area should have water in it. What they do to make things look different is they brick certain parts up and hide and distort things, so obviously they'll have matching brickwork, but they shut off a lot of the functions in these structures by covering up certain bits that don't make sense with this type of thing. It's like this arch, like why have an arch and then just have it bricked up? It's all to prevent the true nature of these buildings coming to light. Oh my god, this is incredible. Wow. Look at the size of these columns. Now I do believe that these never had roofs as well. I do believe these were always open air because it would allow the elements to flow properly. Look at this. I believe there was literally water everywhere. I keep going on about it all the time because it's so true. I believe water was surrounded these structures. They weren't grass, there was water. These were temples of water. Like we see in the Greek temples, they look empty because there's something missing, something fundamental, and that's the water. See here, look, the river, the living waters are then flowing through this bit of the structure, through this area, as we can see, and then this bit's been altered here, and then the water then flows through the centre of the abbey through another tunnel, goes to the left. The rest of the main river then carries on its course naturally, but that bit's being diverted for it to purposely go into here to be used. There's a function to this. The living water is going through the abbey. It was built because of the water. Now in my book to come, I do talk about these places, being directly to do with water and electromagnetism, because water holds memory, it can carry current, it can be used with electromagnetic energy production. Now they were likely doing it at places like this alongside with churches and cathedrals, castles, but there was many other functions to this. They honoured the water so much, and if it truly was a place without a roof, like I say, in open air, allowing the water to run, then the water, in my opinion, is very naturally used in these places, and the elements are honoured because it's not been built over, it's been allowed to flow. But it's still just adventure and discussion, all of this. We don't know the full truth. I will never say I know the full truth. I'm only trying to discover and see from my own observations what's going on and what the patterns are. Another tunnel from the other side as well. Can you see? Across here. So just like I was saying, the original level is the water level. This is why it's been, look, imagine this, the bottom of this, right, is the water level bottom. So this is going to be the water level bottom, this whole area. This has been added. This is what I'm seeing. So this was channeled, this was all water, open water. So it wouldn't have been flowing under, this would have been visible. This bit would have been visible. This was all ground. This is not the original ground level. These columns go more under. The part bricked up here. It's very hard to see how things worked when so much has been changed and altered to throw you off. See here, there's the well in the centre courtyard. As we can see there on the right, we've got a cymatic circle, which would have been like the magnetron, in my opinion, possibly. But again, it's been bricked in. A slightly different brickwork you can see. Well, the other one's open, you can see. There's a lot of distortion, a lot of changing going on in here to hide things. It's very, very subtle, or very clear. And a lot of times, can you see, like, why is that bricked up at the end? It's all, everything should be open. Anything arched is open, it flows. So it shouldn't be bricked up. Even here, this shouldn't be bricked up. None of it, really. This should be open, flowing. Two more blocked up. Them ones down there, aren't they? Flow. But these have been blocked. It just shows how much more water was flowing through here. Can you see from that point there, the river then goes underneath the ground, so you cannot see any of it as it goes through this section of the temple. We see the Abbey in the background here. We've got the guardian yew trees, and then we've got Robin Hood's well. Wow, that's a spiral of life, but it's so sad how it's just completely dry. We still have the drain. And what's happened here? Why is there not even a spout or a head? They've completely destroyed it. It's completely neglected, but yet the energy can still be felt. The sacredness of this place. Let's go in. There's no sign of water anywhere. There's even tree roots growing inside it. Wow. You see the channel where it used to just come out into the drain, and then it would have just been fed into the River Kell and carried on its journey. But where is it? Has it dried up completely, or have they completely just stopped the flow and diverted it? So this is what I talk about very often on my channel. It's an octagonal structure that marks, these were originally what I believe were wells underneath these structures. But here we have a definition of modern society where it is hollow. So this is a remake of the original. We can see the original stone underneath, and then I've just taken off the original and then put that plastic, and this is all fake. So this doesn't serve a function anymore. The water will still probably be around here, and I do believe there would have been a structure here at one point because it carries energy. You know, the structures that just take over. All the original could have been destroyed, and I built another one to commemorate it, to put it nicely. But anyway, this is the type of structure that does mark these wells all over the realm, these octagonal wells. I'll be writing quite a bit about these and putting a few bits of evidence in my book as well. But these are very difficult to understand really, because what the function of these were is, it still boggles my mind really, because they're always octagonal, and just like the well houses, the drinking springs, where you have octagonal pillars and the water flows out of them. This is exactly the same, where we have the well, it's over water, it's underground water, underground springs, similar again to stone circles and groves where they have the rocks, but these are instead octagonal pillars that are surrounding the underground spring. And this is why we always have these types of structures where there is spring water and fountains and everything like that around, especially abbeys, manor houses and structures like that. It's no wonder Robin Hood was around this area. I've seen about 100 pheasants today. They are absolutely everywhere. One nearly flew into my face. Below us is the water garden. Is this the remains, you know, the energetic remains of perhaps a water garden that was directly linked with growing crops, like we see at places like Chatsworth House. They were growing crops with the use of water, sound and vibration, but now they just have grass in between instead of crops. But it's still absolutely stunning. Wow, so this is really interesting. We're down at the water garden. We've got Poseidon, his trident. We've got many other statues. There's some sort of buried structure inside the grass there. Perhaps there's water, because these structures always mark water. Perhaps there's water coming out of there, feeding the water garden. If you know what I mean, the function of these places has been completely eradicated. It's just all pointless now. This is all just for aesthetics. So here we have the obelisk, and it's marking this spring that has also been stopped. This is just rainwater, but it flowed from there. Every single thing has been stopped. I wonder where the spring is. Sometimes you can just find things by just walking around, but it's very hard. You see how they are energizing the water as it then rests into this body. Honestly, I have never ever seen a yew tree as big and as healthy as this. This must be into 5,000 or 6,000 years old. Look at the height on this. The height and the girth. Oh my god. This blows the mind. There's lots of deer down there. This is the deer park on the site of Fountains Abbey. You can get to this park for free. You just have to pay to go to the Abbey grounds. That's St Mary's Church. So right next to the Church of St Mary's, we've got the obelisk, giant obelisk. Really interesting here, we've got the Church of St Mary's directly in line with this straight path towards Ripon Cathedral. That's Ripon Cathedral down there. Look at the patterns in that water. There's like two sphinxes here. So this is the Seven Bridges Valley, and they have energised each section with bricks, can you see, where it energises through the bridge. So this is bridge number 4, that's bridge number 3, there's 7 bridges overall. this is Robin Hood's well. Robin Hood was meant to have been thrown into the river and his boat buried at the Abbey. It's a sacred place. Completely dry though. Right now I'm in the village of this quite modern looking drinking fountain that is actually stopped. So I want to thank you everybody for watching this video on Fountains Abbey, and I will see you on the next video, which I'm planning some very interesting videos over the next month.